It's an acknowledgement that Aboriginal people were the original inhabitants of this land and that they were treated incredibly badly in the colonisation of this land, and that it still has not been acknowledged, and there has not been repayment for that. And I guess as a GP you see the enormous costs of that failure to acknowledge and to repay. You see costs in terms of health and well-being, intergenerational costs, and I think reconciliation is trying to make amends as an individual, but also as a country, and for the college as an organisation, for what has been such a blight on our history and an ongoing running sore in the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities. And we can't make it right through reconciliation, but we can acknowledge and try and do better.
I think it's very much a two-way street of learning and trying to see the perspective through another lens for both sides and moving forward together in a positive way.
Australians, because of the sheer nature of history, aren't aware of the historical perspective and what actually happened to Indigenous Australians, because it's not generally told in the textbooks that we get taught at school. And I think that reconciliation across Australia is about sharing a story, educating the community about some truths, and taking that forward so that we can actually heal a broken nation and move forward in the strength that we are as Australians together.
I think it's an opportunity really for the general Australian community to actually reflect with the First Peoples, or the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, what has happened since the arrival of the First Fleet, in terms of their health, in terms of their well-being, in terms of their culture, in terms of the interaction between Aboriginal Australia and non-Aboriginal Australia.
Reconciliation to me means reflecting on lessons from the past and working collaboratively and synergistically to make a better future for everyone. I think reconciliation acknowledges that mistakes will still be made, but doesn't punish people for naivety, but rather looks at creating a culture of education and changing the dialogue to make a more inclusive and accepting culture across the board.
So reconciliation to me means everyone working together. It means recognising the past that we share, including the fact that non-Indigenous people colonised Australia and did some things that had truly awful effects, and that those effects are still carrying on now. And it's recognising that and saying, okay, how do we work together now to make this country and this situation better for all of us in a way that's fair for all of us, but particularly those who've been wronged in the past.